we are really excited about the loose fill process, so let's dive right into that. What we're gonna do basically is pretend we have not done this before. We're gonna measure the cubic inch of the wall cavity, and we're gonna convert that into a weight for the product. We're literally going to weigh out 5 pounds per cavity, and we're gonna blow that 5 pounds into each cavity. Once we do it a few times and we get a feel for the product and we get a feel for the machinery we're using, then we're gonna turn ourselves loose and we're gonna blow the whole house. So hang out and watch what we're doing. All right, so a quick rundown on insulation mesh. There are many kinds, shapes, sizes, various forms, availabilities. We don't have a personal favorite. A little bit about this one though in particular, we like it because it lets the air out. We're using a lot of air to push wool into the cavity. That air needs to go somewhere. So if you're working with a vapor open, airtight, vapor variable membrane, you probably want to use this kind of stuff first and then put the membrane over, as again, that air needs to release. So we'll show you how to do this. It comes in various sizes. This particular size is rather narrow. I think I'd rather see something that's 8 foot or 9 foot tall and you can canvas the whole wall, but for demonstration purposes, we'll put this up. And also pay attention to the staples. You need a lot of staples. So we got a slap stapler, we have a pneumatic one, but you want to put a lot of staples in there to hold it tight to the studs so that the drywallers have a much easier time. So let's put this up real quick. Okay, so behind me is a demo wall. It's framed with 2x6s, they're 16 on center, and it's standard 8 foot tall. When we do the math of each stud bay, we have 9.6 square feet. We're gonna show you the math that equates 9.6 square feet to our proper density and equals 5 pounds of wool. So we're gonna weigh out 5 pounds of wool on this scale, and we're gonna feed it through the hopper and blow it into the wall. We're gonna show you that each cavity takes 45 seconds to maybe a minute to fill up. 45 if you're on the fast side, and a minute if you're on the slow side. But either way, we're gonna run through that process so we can see how simple it is. Great, so this is the best part. We get this question a lot. What blower do you use to install your loose fill? The answer is an insulation removal vacuum. We kind of snickered that there is an insulation removal vacuum available because you're removing old insulation that has served its life or does not work anymore. In this case, we're gonna run it in reverse, which means the blow hose becomes the suck hose. Right here, I've got a 4-inch hose. You'll see it's rather smooth on the inside. This kind of delivery hose is suitable because it's not gonna catch wool on the ribs as it blows through. Now, we don't use a typical insulation blower for fiberglass or cellulose because those fibers are quite different than the wool fiber. In terms of installation, they're incredibly brittle, and their blowers have agitators and hoppers designed to aerate and mix up the product to then deliver it. That's a no-no for wool. The fiber is incredibly strong and will wind up on those moving parts. So that's why we use a machine that is a glorified huge blower. This particular model is 23 horse, Cool Machines by Dave Crendel. This particular one we're gonna run at 3250 RPMs, 3,250 RPMs to get the best delivery. Your particular machine may require some adjustments in speed. So this particular side we're going to use as the suck hose. This is a 6-inch piece of flexible that's hooked up to the hopper where we're going to feed into. Same up here on the delivery side. It exhausts into a 6-inch. We've reduced into a 4-inch and used a hose clamp. All right, a few job site considerations that will allow you to take on this project a little bit better and faster. We're using a 25-foot hose. Now, every job site is different. You can use a longer pickup or a longer delivery, and the unit itself can be stationed outside in the garage, in the back of a truck, maybe outside on a tarp, but it's going to depend upon where you can place this piece of machinery. When you adjust the hose length on delivery or pickup, you'll have to mess with the idle or the engine speed a little bit to get the delivery to match at the end of the hose and into the wall. We'll go over what some of those modifications or adjustments are, but you can also use common sense when putting on more hose. You're probably going to need some more speed to help deliver that material. Okay, so as we mentioned, this is a 2-person job. This person is going to be feeding wool into a corral we have made. This particular corral is made of metal as we carry it from job site to job site. However, you don't have to get very fancy. You can just embed one of these in a couple pieces of job scrap, some 2x4s and plywood, and the idea is we're going to push the wool into the hopper. The person feeding is going to try and make it as even as possible so that the person delivering has a good chance to understand how this process works and react to the material. Very simple to make on the job. You can put it upstairs, you can put it downstairs, you can put it wherever you like, as the only job is to feed the wool into the hopper. Okay, so person number 1 has 5 pounds of wool already weighed out, and we're gonna push it into the hopper so person number 2 can start delivering it into the wall cavity. That person number 2 has already cut an access hole in the middle of the cavity, and they're gonna start by blowing down first, coming up to the level of the hole, and then extending the hose all the way up to the top of the cavity and coming back down to the hole. So in this section, we're going to demonstrate blowing loose fill into an attic. What we have behind here is 2x10 floor trusses set up, and we've already measured the square footage. We know the R value we're trying to achieve, and we've got a bag amount that needs to go into this space. So we're going to open up all of our bags, and we're going to blow the cavity full. We've got yardsticks that you can buy or simply make out of cardboard and staple onto the trusses themselves or the joists so that you have a very good visual of what's happening, because when you're blowing and it's usually dark in an attic, you want to see what's happening and have a good visual so you know how much you're filling. So let's open some bags and start blowing. So here we are back up in the attic. We've done all of our loose fill blowing. As you can see, we're at 14 inches. That 14 inches is gonna give us a solid R60, and that is a great comfy attic for anywhere here in North America. Thanks for joining us here at the Havelock Wool Demo Center. Hopefully you find that healthy, high-performance insulation is also easy to install for the homeowner and consumer and the professional. Come join us at havelockwool.com, and we'll talk to you soon.